talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Are you clean, crisp? Are you feeling irie today? I said we're going to talk about some positive messages this week, but first we're going to start with a little bit of story time. Once upon a time, years and years ago, there was a monk, and one day he decided to meditate away from his monastery. So he takes his little boat and he takes it to the middle of the lake, closes his eyes, and begins to meditate. After a few hours of undisturbed silence, he suddenly feels the blow of another boat hitting his own with his eyes still closed. He feels his anger start to build, and when he opens his eyes, ready to yell at the person who dared disrupt his meditation, he realized that it was just an empty boat, not anchored, floating in the middle of the lake. At that moment, the monk realizes and reaches self-realization and understands that anger is within him. It simply needed the hit of an external object to trigger him. And after that day, whenever he met someone who were irritated or provoked his anger, he remembered that the other person is just an empty boat. The anger is inside of him. You see, in your life, this goes for the good and the bad feelings. The bad and the good emotions, because anger, love, and happiness is all inside of you, and every other person in the world are just empty boats. You decide what emotion you want to attract, and what the world in your life are just empty boats. Understand, Postal family, that we have been going through the negatives and the positives when it comes down to slight progression, but then we get kicked back by somebody saying, Jay, how do I get rid of my supervisor? I get the emails, y'all read the comments. How do I get rid of my supervisor? How do I report my supervisor? And I can't give you that answer. I can only say EEO and, hey Jay, my shop steward is in bed with management, all the negativity that keeps coming with it. And then I get emails and read articles about post offices changing the culture. Changing the culture. Somebody said, it's too late. That's like me saying it's too late for me to reach out and help change people's lives after all the things that I've been through in my life. It's never too late. I came up with this story because I spoke to a lady today and I was vexed because they told me, hey, we have X amount of people coming for training. And so we schedule them on specific days. I'm getting to a point. And I was upset when I spoke to one guy. He was like, well, unfortunately, the person that was supposed to be there they quit. I was like, man, what do you mean they quit? When were you going to tell me this? And I started getting angry. I started getting pissed because, again, we schedule according to the needs of the post office. Why didn't they call me? Why didn't they send an email? I sent an email out. Hey, this training is available. We're going to have somebody scheduled. This is your day. Make sure you let me know. Jay starting to get vexed. So then I had called somebody else before that, and then this individual called me back. And so she just happens to be the acting manager at a different station. And she said, well, unfortunately, I'm not at that station no more. So I can't give you that information, but I can reach out to them and talk to them. And she's a sweet lady. We've spoken before. I wanted to give her the 1-2 business, but her demeanor changed my anger. She said, hold on for 1 second. And another employee came up to her and started asking her about scanning and end tours and how to put the mileage in at the end of it before she gets off. And I'm like, oh, she gonna give this person the business. I know she gonna give this person the business because she's a manager of the station and they're all alike. So I'm just sitting there listening, ready for the business. This lady had me floored, flabbergasted, nay, may I say? I said it twice, right? You hear that? Nay, may I say? Let me get back to my voice. Nay, may I say? She spoke to the employee with empathy, compassion, realistic, talk to them like a human. She said, listen, we're gonna try this again tomorrow. And then this is what you do first. This is what you do next. And we're gonna try X, Y, Z. And if you're having any issues, just reach out to me. I had my jaw dropped. I said, who am I talking to? What kind of foolery? This can't be a postal manager, not a supervisor, a manager. That was empathetic. And I had to stop her and I said, I commend you. I said, yes, yes, and yes. This is what I said, I swear. Yes, yes, and yes. It was like, what? I said, I want to thank you for doing things and speaking to people like they're human, letting people know that you're available if needed. And she kind of like giggled and laughed. I was like, oh, okay, well, and then we got into the full-fledged conversation about what they had been teaching, what I learned and I spoke to you about them getting training. And she said, yes, she did take that training, but she's always been like that. And see, the thing is that some people say this place is never gonna change, but just understand, the monsters that are created are us. Again, I will continue to say it. It's us. It's craft employees that moved up. Some of the craft employees are good. They have a specific training that they are. This just came out in the news the other day. University of Oklahoma has a contract to train USPS employees. They've been awarded a contract to deliver high impact training to its employees under the guidance of somebody from the outreach of college continuing education. The project will ensure USPS employees are equipped with the knowledge and skills necessary to perform their duties. We are immensely proud to embark on this transformative initiative with the United States Postal Service. The key word is transformative. Change. Transformers changing shapes. That's what this is about. I'm going to leave a pinned comment about this article. And you know what else they put in there? Culture. The culture. They want the culture to change. That says, so I'm going to just leave that in there because I'm going to get to some other things right now. But that's what's going on right now. So don't say it's too late to change. Because it's never too late to change, family. It's never too late to change. But I have a question for you. The exit surveys that they took, the post office, it said, remember the other day I said I couldn't remember the third one? It said, lack of schedule flexibility, why people quit, the relationships with their supervisors, and too many hours. What is a reason that you postal employee that's currently working for the post office, what would be a reason that would force you to quit? Because money's not even in here. I know somebody said, well, the pay. I don't know about that. We still get paid pretty good. It just takes a little while. But I already spoke about that, saying that we had got $15,000 in raises within the last contract. It's some crazy mess. I was like, what? Listen, what would be the reason that you would leave? Some people say that their work-life balance isn't it. And the training had emphasize that the new employees need a work-life balance. And it speaks about how they would achieve that. They would limit work hours to 8 hours per week and 40 hours per week to the extent when it's possible, limiting. Some people are like, no, I need my overtime. No, some people can't stand the overtime. I read the comments. People are saying, I got too many hours. We need staff. And then other people saying we're not making enough money. I can't please everybody. I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to pass the information on. They are also scheduling set days off for the new people, which means when you got new people coming in, look, you will have this day off and that day off. And they are forcing management to stand by that. They are forcing management to post a timely schedule each week. This is all in the works, because even my people to this day that are careers say, man, they don't put the schedule up. Until like the day, like a Friday. Who puts a schedule up on a damn Friday? You don't know until Friday if you're working Monday. Now, career employees do, but pre-career, you have no idea. Wait, I don't know if I got this weekend off, but let me see. You gotta wait till Friday afternoon? Hell no. So what they're doing is providing anticipated work schedules. This is something that they needed to do. And a lot of people don't realize all of this has to do with the culture in this place. So when I say I want to thank that specific manager for being who she is, because if there were more like her, unfortunately there isn't, if there were more like her, then the country would be a better place. It'd be easier to come to work. Some people come to work to be liked, which is a wrong mentality, but there are other people that come to work just to work and not be mentally bullied. Mental bullying. That's what it is. When these people talk to you like trash, they need to receive the proper training when new things come. Don't throw people into it and figure it out. How many truck drivers out there, you start working and you get 2 or 3 days, and then they say, okay, well, your next station, you're gonna be covering Robert's route, so you gotta it's down there off of such and such. Well, for truck drivers, it's a little more difficult because we have to figure out an approach to get into these stations. It's not like we can just drive a car in there. They just tell you, well, figure it out. You're a professional truck driver, figure it out. That's unprofessional. You know why they tell them that? Because the people that are running the department have never driven a truck before. And that's fact. They need truck drivers to be running transportation departments. You can't say, hey, Jay, I need you to go down to Squad Street and go deliver with your 53-foot trailer. And I'm like, well, somebody told me that I can't fit that in there. Well, you figure it out. Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to be down there. Well, I can't help you. What do you mean you can't help? You ever seen it? Yeah, I've been there, but I don't know. You're the truck driver, figure it out. Well, you can't give me, really? And that's the culture that we have. That's the culture we have here. I don't mean to drag this on, but I want you guys to put in the comments what it is that you would like to see changed. Leave money out of it for a second. Whether it be just transparency, because you'd be surprised at how many people in this place agree with you. I agree. There's a lot of things. And I mean, I wish I could go through all the training pictures that I got, but I'm just giving you pretty much an outline of what was talked about. And I'm hoping that you realize the story in the beginning of the video, it applies to every one of us. When we allow this place to take over and change your life, anger you, frustrate you, just remember the people that work here drive this place. And those people that drive this place, if they are not on your side, if they're not working with you, if they're not conducive to your work lifestyle, they're just empty boats. This is JH, and I'm hoping that my analogies, when I speak through these messages, gets across to somebody. Change the culture.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.